Hey everybody, you've got Daniela here with Adventures in Consciousness. Welcome back. Welcome to the brand new mini series that I'm doing that I have been inspired to do, which is the Sacred Chakra Dance series. So in each one of these, I'm going to be breaking down a series of movements that I have amalgamated together that I have found helps open and release a lot of energy from particular energy centers. So today we're going to be going through and starting with, of course, the root. You got to start from the bottom up. You got to have a good solid foundation. So we're going to be starting with our root movement today. And so follow along and let's have a great time. All right, everybody. We're going to be starting in our belly dance position. Excuse me, I'm already starting to clear some stuff. We're going to be starting in our belly dance position, and if you don't remember, if you haven't, if you're new to this and you're new to belly dance and using these kind of movements to release energy, I highly suggest you check out some of our beginning tutorials. I suggest that you check out pretty much all of the beginning tutorials. If this is the first time that you're going to be moving your body like this, it does take a bit of warm-up and stretching to be able to do some of these movements comfortably and safely. And of course, we always want to be making sure that we are protecting our bodies, and that is what our beginning belly dance posture does. So if you're not familiar, go and check those out. But if you are and you're ready to rock and roll, we're going to get into our belly dance position. So of course, nice and easy knees. We're going to be loose here in the hips, lifted chest, shoulders back, neck nice and long, excuse me, and head up to the sky, right? So in this series of movements concerning our root chakra, and I'm sure all of you by now know what the root chakra is all about, so I'm not even going to bother going into all of that. There are many videos on YouTube that do go into it if you do want to check those out. But the root is, of course, where we are rooted into our physical being. Our chakra system is a spiritual technology, if you will, that allows our spiritual consciousness to be able to experience physical reality. And this is a vehicle in which we have chosen to put our consciousness into, to drive around, right? So our root and our chakra, the root of our chakra system is the basis. It is the tires. It is the wheels of our car, right? So we got to make sure that we are paying the appropriate amount of respect and honor and all of these things to the different parts of our body that these chakra systems represent, because it is all a homogeneous system. And so working here, we're going to start by catching the beat with our feet, and we're going to be rocking back and forth. So right, just gonna be going back and forth. You want to start stomping. You want to get comfortable shifting your weight back and forth. And of course, the music will start again in a second. Right? Feel the beat. We don't use our feet often enough. This is the movement that we're going to be working up to. My body just automatically went into it. It was like, yes. So if you are familiar with that movement, I was going to break it down for you, but my body just said, hey, let's go. She was ready to roll. Which is so funny. You'll notice that a lot of times, especially when you start getting a lot of these movements in as muscle memory, that when you put on music, your body will just start, it'll just start going, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go for a ride now. It's all very funny. So with that movement, the other movement is going to be our pelvic lift, right? This is our pelvic lift. Of course, many of you hopefully are familiar, have seen and checked out the video. If you haven't. So this is a very essential core exercise. Deep core exercise. I'm sorry, ladies, I had to. You know I had to. I had to express that masculine energy. So I'm just goofy, you know that. So, but really, in all seriousness, the root is the root of a lot of our power. You know, it's the I am, right? It's the safety, it's the grounding. So when you are doing your pelvic lift, you might assume that the pelvic lift would be necessarily more associated with your sacral chakra, right? Because you're lifting your pelvis, not, or, you know, like not doing anything, you know, where your actual root chakra is. However, when you are doing this move, if you do want to take it up step it up that notch, there is a motion that is like the pelvic lift and similar to a Kegel, right? ladies, you probably are very familiar. It's the O sensation, which is similar to Kegels, but not quite the same, as you know. So when you lift your pelvis, do your best to also squeeze that bit in, right? So remember, you're not driving this from your butt. You're driving this from the front of your pelvis. So you're driving this from the core, from your center end. This is a little bad. But honestly, that's where you're driving it from. So when you go to do this movement and you're doing your pelvic lifts, right? And you can practice these things simultaneously. And you can start by going back and forth. And you're just gently rocking, right? Remember belly dance posture? This helps protect your knees and your hips and your back. So this is part 2 of that motion, right? So we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2. Whatever beat you choose, doesn't have to be the song, but if you'd like to play along with me, right? 1, 2, feel it, add it in. This is a good time to bring your hands to your chakra area. Pay a little bit of extra, maybe Reiki or energy healing attention to it. And try to remember to continue to stomp, right? Because part of the I am, right, is the announcing that I'm here, right? Here I fucking am. They're gonna hear you coming. Your energy precedes you, right? So feel that. Feel that power that it feels like to actually stomp on the ground. We never do that anymore, right? We're told not to stomp around. Not to be childish and stomp around. But let's be a little childish and stomp around. Right? So that essentially is going to be a wonderful move. You can travel with that move. So if you can get your balance enough to go back and forth, you can travel with this. Well, walk around the house like this. Right? You know what I mean? Use it when you need to. If like if you're doing things around the house, if you're doing things, when you get the opportunity. That's the key, is I know that everybody lives a hella busy ass life. We fill our days with a lot of things and a lot of tasks to do, a lot of responsibilities. So when you get the chance to multitask, right? Utilize your body in that way when you do get the opportunities to, and I swear to you, it will begin to make a whole world of difference. So that is essentially our move for our root chakra system. Next, we're going to be moving on to our sacral chakra. I have to go find something orange now. Just to prove a point that you can use anything as a belly dance scarf. This is literally just yardage of fabric. So use what you got. Use the time you have. Build it into the parameters that you have. Use what you have on hand and allow yourself to do more with less, right? Because as we get taught over and over, we get taught that you have to have the shiny things, that you have to have the fancy things, you gotta have the jingles, you gotta have the fancy bras, you gotta have, you gotta have the stuff. Well, in reality, you just need a jumper and a piece of fabric and some music. Which technically, if you really wanted to, you could sing yourself. So, that being said, tap into your root. Use what you have. Use that I am energy. Tap into that I am energy. Release into the world. Announce yourself with that I am energy. And have a good time stomping and having a good time. And being a kid. Right? Stomping and doing your thing. So, next time we're going to be doing the sacral chakra. Come and check that out. Thanks for watching. I hope this was informative for you and helps bring a bit of new motion into your repertoire. A little bit of a combo motion there. And so if there's anything else that you would like to have me show, do things like I do, you can always drop it down in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Daniela with Adventures in Consciousness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all the wonderful things. And I will see you guys in the next round. Sacral Chakra!